Greetings, great rise. Remember, we're on 2 screens. If you see my eye wandering, I ain't trying to ward off nothing. I'm just trying to work. Okay. All right, great rising, peace and power. I'm trying to put these as close together. That might help. All right. Oh, man. Okay, hold on. Hold on. It is telling me my storage is full here. Okay, so I'll figure that out later on. Yeah, I'll figure that out later on. All right, let's do this. All right, so we're going to pray first. So we're on 1 screen. More work to figure out. Sacred Spirit, because we're going to start with that so we can jump right on that. Sacred Spirit, hold me near, close to your bosom. Protect me from all harm and fear beneath the blows of life. Direct my steps in the right way as I journey through this vision. Sacred Spirit, surround me in your most absolute perfect light. Anoint me in your sacred purity, peace, and divine insight. Bless me, truly bless me as I share this sacred life. Teach me, Sacred Spirit, to be in tune with the universe, how to heal with the inner and outer elements of air, fire, water, and earth. Ashe and amen. Okay. All right, so I know it's Friday, and we don't usually get together on Fridays, so I ain't going to hold you long. I just wanted us to make up a little bit for the day that we missed. I'm working on being more consistent myself, okay? Watched a video yesterday, okay, very briefly, a reel that a sister of mine shared, and she could have just kicked me in the fucking stomach, you understand? There was some easier ways to take a bit down. And it starts with gonna ask yourself these 4 questions every day. And you know, I like things like that like the 42 laws of Maya, things that hold me accountable, negative confession, so to speak. So I braced myself for the 4 questions. And I don't remember all of them, I'll be honest. After getting punched in the stomach one time, I couldn't listen real good. But what I do remember was what did you do? So maybe 2. Sometimes I've repeated them now a few times. So sometimes when I'm doing my recall, I can remember 2, other times 3 of them. Right now, I'll just give you what I got, and we'll see what comes of it. And so one of them was, what did you do today for your goals? Okay, what did you do today to complete your goal? I'm like, okay, that ain't too bad, you know what I mean? Okay, that's not too bad, okay? The next one was, did the majority of what you did today, does the majority of what you did today reflect your goals or your excuses? And that one hit me a little hard because I will do a little work so I can say that I did some work when I definitely might participate more in the bullshitting party, okay? And then the last one that I can remember was the one that really just, like I said, put me in a different space. And that one was, if you did the same thing that you did today, every day for the next 10 weeks, would you be any closer to accomplishing your goal? And that one, I basically was like, look right here. Hey, Regina, tell him to take me to the king. Somebody give me a wall to slide down. Yeah, okay, so I have been focused. A lot more focused. As long as that is in my mind, I definitely need to put it on the wall or on my phone screen or on a board, because it's been days now that this thing has been holding me accountable to myself. And so I like that. It's so uncomfortable. I love the me that I discover on the other side of my discomfort over and over and over. All right, so we're supposed to be picking up right where we left off, and we were talking about the head, the back, the chest, and the joints yesterday. While we did get to cover all of those, the second screen went out on us, and so I didn't get to mention joints on that one, okay? So that means that the video that's on school doesn't end with us covering joints, so I just want to do a quick recap on that, okay? Remember, we said the head was our clarity or our blessings. We said that the spine was our protection. We said that the chest were heart problems, heartbreak, heart murmurs, stroke, heart issues, okay? And that's where you would go to get relief. So yesterday we were talking about if a client or a family member comes to you with particular burdens, where you should look to find the energy blockages when you begin to do your energy work of laying hands. All right, so the joints had a lot to do with movement, okay? Had a lot to do with movement. Again, not just physical movement, how you walk from one place to the next, but movement, perception. Are you able to move through emotions? Are you able to move through processes? Are you able to move through change easily? So a lot of times if you're not able to, that will come up in the joints, all right? If you think about some of the most stubborn people you know, they'll probably tell you, especially the older they get, is a lot more arthritis in the body. This is true for men and for women. But those joints are going to represent movement, but also uncrossing. So I said the uncrossing is when you feel like it's because of somebody else that you're not able to move through life. Okay, you're not able to move freely in love or in money or in thought or in safety because somebody else has crossed your path or impeded your free movement. We would look for those blockages in the joints. I'm always going to the knees. There are more joints than the knees, but the knees hold so much more than what we know. All right, this is not supposed to be about the knees. Give me a second though, that might come back up. Let me just write it down because I keep hearing knees, so I'll know. Speaking of, okay, we said we're going to start talking about some channel work, and I do want to get to that. Let me pull up the book. It is so crazy to be doing Sacred Woman from a computer screen. Whew. Boy, 2025 is really shaking some new stuff out of us, yeah? All right. So we're supposed to be talking about this channel work. Let me close this down. Boom. All right. In the same way, all of this is energy and all of this is intention, okay? I know that me coming up Christian, a lot of this was just spooky, a lot of it was scary, a lot of it was blasphemous. Now I understand that there's nothing spooky, scary, or blasphemous about energy, okay? And that's what this is. There's nothing spooky or scary or blasphemous about positive intention, okay? And so those are the things that we're learning. This is us moving our perceptions from this space of judgment and eternal damnation to one of healthy exploration, encouraged by and supported by the Most High, okay? All right, so we recapped on those. Give me a minute. It's the channel work. It's the channel work. When we talked about laying hands, we talked about the hands being conduits for energy. When we're talking about channel work, we then become the hands. We are the conduits for energy to move through. Okay? Now there are a couple of different kinds of channel work, a couple of different ways. I think the one that has, the one that they use in horror movies and in Hollywood to poorly and illfully depict voodoo might be complete trance channeling, okay? Now, in some cultures, some spiritual cultures, they'll call this ride when you're being ridden or mounted. I've heard it referred to as having been mounted in voodoo before. But also in Christianity, it's caught, okay? You caught the Holy Spirit or the Holy Spirit caught you. These things are all channel work. And again, the one that's been depicted in a very negative light is the one that is complete trance channeling. And so we feel like that one is spooky. But for me, to make it more digestible, it's peace when you understand that as we grow, we make these promises to ourselves. You've probably heard me say this before if you've been with me. We make these promises to ourselves that we won't be like our mamas. We ain't gonna be like our daddies, okay? And then something happens and we say something, okay? And God's almighty, We sound just like our mama. Be like, God dog, I sound like my mama. Okay? This is that. Okay? This is that. Over and over, we practice channeling without intention. And so Sacred Woman asks us to use this intentionally, to be mindful about what energy we want to use. Okay? And that may be a person, a contemporary, a peer. It may be an Orisha. It may be Omi, Ori, deity, okay? It'll change from one practitioner to the next, but ultimately, channel work is still the same. It is the willingness and the openness to serve as a conduit for some other energy to move through you, okay? Now, we're talking a lot about being conduits and shit, and so it's a couple of things. Hold on. One is this intention. Give me a minute, you know. Spirit be eager. She'd be like, you ain't got but 30 minutes, bitch. Say what I want you to say. Say what I want you to say. Listen, girl, chill the fuck out. It's a lot of things going on there. All right, the first thing, in all channel work, in all energy work, in all work where you stand as the conduit, this is not a creepy thing, this is just a real thing. It's like when I open my front door, maybe if I'm cooking and I need to let the smoke out, you know, stuff got a little burnt out and I need to let the smoke out. When I open my door to let the smoke out, I also open my door to let flies in. I also let my door to let gnats in, okay? I open the door and now my air condition is going out, but also heat is coming in. We have to understand the truth about it. And this is not like you are any safer in any one religious sect than you are in some other one, okay? Anytime there is an open, both positive and negative can pass through, okay? And so we just want to be really mindful of that. Like they say, we don't want to play with it now. You don't, and that's true though. You don't want to play with it. You want to learn channel work so that you do it properly. You want to learn channel work. And I told you that this time I would be mindful about going through and giving you as much as I have so that you feel confident to practice and not just to say you heard it or you know about it or you know somebody who do, okay? All right, so a large part of this, I say you gotta trust your gut, that's your intuition. I say your gut is God, your gut is God. We got to figure out how we determine the difference between imagination and intuition. And so that's what I wanna make sure we do today. Okay, we're doing good with time, all right? And it'll vary from person to person, but I'm gonna give you just the basic outline. I'm gonna give you the skeleton work, the bone work, the framework, okay, for you to be able to tell. And then over the course of the next week, because it's my prayer for you that your relationship with intuition strengthens, and because the way that girl prayer game set up, you will feel it, okay? Intuition interrupts you. You didn't ask for intuition to do that. You wasn't, you know what I mean? I watched a video online this morning of Tab. It was a Tabitha Brown, the vegan chef lady who is just, I mean, comedian. She just, big smile, bright smile, beautiful relationship. She really just warmed my heart, okay? I think it's Tabitha Brown. Aunt Tab, what they be calling her. So if I don't have the whole name, you gotta forgive me. Anyway, I open my app and this video of Tab pops up, and so I'm watching a video. And she's laying down in her yard, and it's just grass all around her. She shows the camera, she says, I'm laying in my yard, I'm laying up under my orange tree, and she says, then she goes on to say that this grass, she said, this is artificial grass. Okay, none of this grass is real. She's picking it up so you can see this is artificial grass. And then she points out a weed that has sprouted between the artificial grass sheets, okay? And she said when she went to grab it out, you know, it stood out because it ain't supposed to be there. When she went to pull it, she said God spoke to her, told her to leave it alone. And so she went to look up what is the weeds anyway. And then she found out about it being a wildflower and how people typically pull it up because they grow in places where it's not wanted. And she's like, that was a revelation for her. This is what people do to people. People want to pull you up, uproot you, get rid of you because you wild, you the wild thing, you the odd thing. They want you out of there. But mostly this happens in environments where you're the only real thing coming up around a whole bunch of shit that's fake. That is intuition. Intuition interrupts you. I didn't ask for this. I don't need this. This is also why I tell you, when spirit give it to you, it's time for you to put it down. Say it, lay it out. I don't believe that spirit give you no shit for you to sit in your pocket and wait until the year 2039, 80. I think that if spirit give it to you, it's time to work. Spirit is really good with time, even better than the humans out here. And so I feel like when spirit says now, that's what time it is. Anyway, intuition will interrupt you, where imagination you have to go seeking, okay? You have to go seeking it. You have to go looking for it. You got to find it. So a couple of bullets that's going to help us remember, but it's important because the more we practice with intuition, the quieter our imagination will get, the louder our intuition is. And both are really necessary. Hold on, let me lift up Nate Rosen for holidays. Both are really necessary, but again, in this energy work, we want to make sure that our intuition is strong. We want to make sure that we're never in a place where we make intuition. When you get a message intuitively, greetings, sis, I love you. When you get a message intuitively, it almost feels like a remembering. It almost feels like you knew this before, or deja vu. It's coming back to you again. A remembrance. I don't know what other word to use that right now. That's the one that's the one that I got. Okay. I love you more. All right. When it's the imagination, it feels like you're creating. I'm the finder. In my family, they often call me when things are missing, okay? Keys especially. It could be that my relationship with Legba has been, I'm a key finder. You know what I mean? I will find the keys. I mean, I'm going to find the key, you hear me? You can drop a tool, okay? A key to your trailer and I'm in the grass, and I'm going to be like, yes. Just help me here in this region. Because of my relationship with Legba, my family has called on me now for maybe the last 8 to 10 years to find things, keys in particular. Okay, keys in particular. My aunt called me recently and said, niece, I got in a car accident. Long story short, my rental car is due back in a couple of days, and I haven't had the rental car keys in days. I don't know where they are. She's like, but I called them and they said it's $300 for me to replace that key. I don't want to pay for this. It's a free rental because of the accident. I don't want to have to pay for the key. So I need you to tell me where the key is. And she had woken me up from my sleep, and I'm trying to, but I'm imagining where the key could be, okay? Because it's important, also because I need money, and everybody in my family, I don't be like, listen, man, I got a finder's fee like the locksmith. I don't, but that's typically how they do. And so if I save her $300, it's not far-fetched for my aunt to send $100. Like, thank you, I really appreciate it. And so that's what's driving me to like figure it out. So I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm like, sit in the back seat and try to look for it. That don't work. Look under the motherfucking front seat, goddamn. Put your left foot up and you do the fucking hokey pokey. This is imagination. Told her I'm going to try. I'm going, after I exhausted myself, I say, Auntie, I'm going to ask the key to show itself to you. I'm going to ask it to tell you where it is, and I'm going to remove myself if that's okay. You know what I mean? I pray the best. Whether you find it or whether you don't, that'll be between you and your key. But I'm asking that key to make its way to you, to reveal itself to you. Okay, a few hours passed and I got a thank you message from her. I ain't get a tip, so I don't even know which way it went. But I told her, I don't want to know. I don't want to know which way it went. I gave you the best that I have. I want to make sure that I'm not pulling my ego. I'm not pulling my ego and my imagination into the space that I've reserved for intuition to speak to me. All right. When it's intuitive, it arrives without persuasion. Okay. Women like to say that they had a gut feeling that somebody was cheating. It was their intuition. And when it's your intuition, you don't need an investigation. When it's your intuition, you don't need validation, okay? When it's your intuition, you know, okay? It done intuited. No, seriously. If you have to convince yourself of a thing, this is imagination. This is imagination. And right now, we're just going through how you know the difference. And how you strengthen it, though, It's by spending more time with the intuition, by recognizing which one is which, by honoring that, by calling it out, calling it like it is. Okay? And I know this is not the best example, but fuck it, I can get a little strange. Shit, listen. They look a lot alike, okay? Like twins, they look a lot alike, but they're not the same. And if one twin keep trying to pop out and pretend to be the other, it don't take long for you to be like, I know who the fuck you are. Move around. And then they'll stop trying to run the sham on you, okay? Imagination, I tell you all the time, magic just want to be done. It don't give a fuck who do it. All energy is this way. All energy is this way. Water just want to find a way. It don't give a fuck what it fuck up. The truth want to be told. It don't give a fuck what it fuck up. The lie want to be told. It don't give a damn what it costs. Everything just, that is the nature of living. That is the nature of surviving. Intuition wants to live and breathe and go just as much as imagination. So think they won't both show up when you open the door. Every time you can be an intuitive practitioner for all your life, and imagination's still going to pop up. It'll still be your responsibility. It'll still be up to you to recognize the difference and to put them in their respective places. Intuition is consistent. Intuition is consistent. Ooh, that's funny. That feel good. Ooh, that feel good. Spirits say the devil's in the details. It want to go on and on and on. And it want to change things and change things. And it want to be like, what if this? And then what if that? And what if this? This is the way that imagination works. Intuition doesn't do that. Intuition said what she said. You know what I mean? She don't have to persuade or convince or go on and on or elaborate or drag it out. She's concise. You know what I mean? Imagination say, what if you go left and then it's traffic on that street? And then what if you go right and then it's traffic down that street? And what if they got a blockage or they doing this and then you're going to be late to work? Intuition says, stop. Intuition say, now go. And that's it. And whenever you've been in communication with God or with spirit, the higher power of your own understanding, without even having to reveal that to me or to anybody else, you understand probably, I say probably, I'm taking the probably out. My intuition said what she said. When God spoke to you, it was just like that. Like you like, goddamn, I mean, I'm missing a lot of motherfucking information. I'm missing a lot of information. You just got what the fuck you supposed to do now, not next. Not later, not nothing. You like, oh shit, this is intuitive. The devil gonna be there to answer every question every time and say, you listen, then just do it this way. If that don't work, if that doesn't work, then just do it this way. If that doesn't work, then just bring it up. If that don't work, then just go. Hey man, intuition is sure. All right, intuition is very brief. It's very brief. It's very fleeting. Like I said, imagination goes on, and a lot of people have a hard time with intuition versus imagination because we want to be in control so bad. And you can control your imagination, okay? You can control your imagination. You can make the narrative for the future. You can make it whatever the fuck you want it to be because you control your imagination. Your intuition, you're a conduit. You don't own your intuition. And so it'll come when it comes. And you can ask your imagination to repeat something. You can't ask your intuition to repeat something. You know, she'll say it when she feel like saying it. She'll come when she feel like coming. She'll go when she feel like going. So really to master your intuition, your intuitive power, is to discipline your ego. You know what I mean? It's to discipline the ego. Hold on, let me look at my time. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, that's not working. Okay. Yeah. All right, so now that, just a little bit more in the channel. We got a little bit of time, just a few more minutes. All right, but now we understand how to tell the difference. Okay, how to tell the difference. There's one fun exercise. Well, it's at least fun for me. Okay, but then I like writing. Okay, there's an exercise that helped me then and still helps me now. when I need to make sure that I'm standing on the right side of intuition. And that's where we've talked about it before. Ask a question, whether you ask it out loud or ask it in your head, and then write whatever comes to mind. It doesn't matter if it's a correct or spelled right, or most of us have a hard time building a relationship with our intuition because we're so hell-bent on logic. You know, it's got to make sense first. And intuition doesn't always make sense first. Spirit doesn't always make sense first. All right. So get that out of your head too, that it's got to make sense. If any of this shit made sense already, we wouldn't be here together, meeting together every goddamn day trying to figure out the fuck is going on in the world. You know? All right. So anyway, moving to the book, moving to the pages. And just for a little bit, because like I said, we probably close to our 30-minute mark. We all have the capacity to receive the divine. Through conscious channeling work, we allow ourselves to become vessels for the spiritual guardians. If we've been adequately cleansed in body, mind, and spirit, and are pure in our intentions, our request for guidance is granted. And the spiritual guardians funnel information, guidance, and healing to us from the heavenly realm all the way to the earthly realm. If you're blocked and you need answers to questions, then open a channel into the appropriate gateway. To channel is to allow light to come through you. But remember, before you begin, you want to go through a process, through your own ritual work of cleansing and calming, releasing. I'm gonna tell you what, when I do power hour here, by the time we get, like, it's 12:14 in the afternoon here, so I'm already at the peak of the day. A lot of the things that I'm sharing with you now are because I did power hour by myself privately at 4 this morning and wrote the notes so that I would be giving you what Spirit gave me. Okay. But it's 12 o'clock in the day for me. You know what I mean? Trying to tell you about how that power hour worked, though. About how that, I ain't got to convince you. I know I ain't got to convince you. You know, if you could utilize the time also. Just, I want you to utilize the time also. The quietness and the stillness of power hour, okay? Just get the work in right then. I can't make you do it. Shit, I can't make you do it. I can't make you do it. I can lead you to the water, God damn it, but I can't make you drink. All right, we're gonna, when we get back together on Tuesday, okay, when we link back up on Tuesday, we're gonna pick back up, again, more channel work, okay, more channel work. I just wanna make sure before I get off of here today that there's nothing urgent that I'm leaving. I know Spirit did say something about the knees, but she didn't give me enough, okay? Yeah, just that though, we do need to be clear on, that we can't control or rush intuition. So be patient in this process. Please be patient, okay? And practice. If there's something that you want to know or something that you've been wondering, you know, something that you might ask a tarot card reader, or if you would get somebody at the crystal ball, will I ever get married? Find a question of your own heart, of your own desire, and ask your intuition. Practice with yourself, okay? A good practitioner gonna start with healing and practicing on themselves before they get out in this world. All right, let me get off of here. Where my mind be going? Okay, I love you, I love you, I love you. That's it. I love you. I'm gonna try to post this on school, so we'll have it. I gotta figure it out though, since I didn't have the second screen. Okay. Peace.